Hey guys, doing a car talk, waking up, heading to the paint studio. Got a little bit of brain fog just from my trip this weekend. A little bit of throat congestion too, so I don't know if it's a cold or if it's just the weather changing. I don't really feel sick, I don't feel achy, but I'm dealing with some symptoms. But I went to New York this weekend. It was really cool. It was really nice to get outside of myself, and it was just really hopeful in a way. I took a trip like this around this time last year, and I'm feeling very similar vibes about it. There's this sort of romantic aspect to traveling to a new place in the fall, differences though between this year and last year. I feel like I kept my wits about me better this time. And I think that overall, the interactions I made were more positive. Last year, just the people I met up with, they seemed to the relationship seemed to kind of wither away after I met up with them in New York, except for one person who I ended up staying with this time. So, and that was sort of a theme. It's been a theme lately, just kind of understanding that people are going to come and go out of your life, I guess. And I think I put a lot of pressure onto whether or not someone likes me. I feel that need to be liked very strongly a lot of the times, and it's something I have trouble. I guess I want to learn how to love that part of myself, because there's a reason I perform. There's a reason I make videos, whatever, paint, for some sense of longing for connection. And a lot of the times it feels like I'll do anything to get in the way of that, in spite of myself. But yeah, I feel like this past month or so, I was really good about grinding and working and focusing. And then just last week, I feel this sort of pain of rejection just bubble back up to the surface. And I'm feeling it again today. I'm just feeling like I'm still not where I want to be, and I can feel it from my interactions. It's like I want something, but I can't say it exactly. But I know it's not real. I feel like there's this sort of, again, romanticism. Maybe it's some mystical, magical kind of feeling that I got when I travel, because I travel so little, so when I am outside of Raleigh, it feels very special to me. So I think I put a lot of pressure on trying to keep that feeling going. And when I got back yesterday, I just felt it all kind of sink out of me, and I was like, oh my God, back here, back to all my problems, But I feel like there's got to be a way to continue that feeling that I get when I'm traveling, when I'm at home, you know. But I think it's hard because you're reminded of so many things that ground you, you know, and give you your life's form, you know. But if you take time to meditate, or for me, it's like driving and like looking out and looking at the sky and feeling like that kind of all melt away in a way. But it's harder to do when you're like, I think what thrill seekers and people who like to try new things get from new experiences is that clean slate, you know. If you are eating steak every day, all your memories are associated with steak, and if at one time you eat fish, suddenly it's like, oh my god, and then that one time you had the fish becomes special simply because you put yourself into a different framework, essentially, for that experience. So, but you can't just only have freedom, right? There is going to always be form. I can't go work a different job every day. I can't go be in a different city every day. Life has an inherent sense of monotony if you are going to have any bit of stability, you know. If I want adventure, if I give up my home, I'd have to worry about finding a place to sleep every night, right? So what level of freedom versus security do I want to operate in, you know? Within my art, it's been nice. I'm giving myself more time to paint. I'm working on stuff that I know I can do well, while also having little one-off studies that are more experimental, and it's nice. I have to plan to make sure that I have enough time to do both of those things, right? If I want to wait tables somewhere else, I need to set aside time to look for a second job that would give my first job maybe a little sense of, you know, like appreciating how easy it is, appreciating how second nature it is. Because when you get bored, you start to fuck up, you know. When I'm bored, I slip into alcoholism or watching too much TV or anything I've really struggled with. Fucking being obsessed with a girl, waiting around for text messages or some signs, you know. It's like when you're bored, when you're not being active, you start to put your pleasure on outside influences. It's not being generated from within. And that's a dangerous place to be at. So this morning, you know, I slept in, and I still think my apartment's kind of a mess. I need to get a mouse trap. But around 11 o'clock, I was like, all right, I gotta go paint. I gotta go get back into the routine, you know, eat my vegetables, and I'm gonna feel better later. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This week I'm trying to, there's a couple things I can do. I'm gonna keep working on stuff that I've been working on, painting wise. I got a few sales over the last week, so I'm going to prep those paintings to be shipped out. We are ordering new Oozebox t-shirts as well, so I need to stay on top of that guy, make sure that that's all worked out. And I'm waiting to hear back on a show. And, you know, if we get it, then great. If not, I need to be able to pivot and plan something else for October because I don't want people to forget about us. Yeah, music's tough too. I feel like I am very invested again in people liking me in the music scene or something, but I'm not really. I'm not really that invested. I don't know. It feels like something doesn't click. Someone's asking me about it, and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, I really didn't have a good reason to why I felt skeptical about the reception of Oozebox in the local music scene. Because we played shows with people offer us gigs, but it's like I want more and more and more. It's like that ladder just goes forever and ever and ever, and it feels like I can do more, right? It's not that I'm just like greedy. It feels like, oh, I'm doing something to hinder the success of the music. And that thing is just me being myself. It's me wanting to be loud and have a platform and wanting to include everything. I think bands just kind of exist. Bands, when I look at it, I don't see them really saying much about anything. They just kind of make the music, because the more you define yourself, the more haters you're kind of gonna garner, which sucks. But it is what it is. So I can relish the anonymity in a way, because at least it doesn't prove too many problems. But sometimes you want the fight. I think the next time the fight comes to me, I'm gonna stand up for myself. I think I run away a little too often when conflict arises. I'm gonna bite the bullet. The next time that shit, I have to deal with anything. I just cower. I don't like that about myself. I wanna stand up for myself and tell them they're wrong. Even as I say that, I don't believe it. But it's something to work towards, and I think again, that's something where faith can come into play. Don't live your life for this world. I know it's hokey to believe in God at this point, but it's a superpower if you really stop fearing the judgment of others and really just be like, well, I know God loves me, right? So you need to find your God to free yourself from judgment of others. Because you can be nice, you can go about and try and keep everybody happy, and that's good. But there will be conflict in your life, and I think I've worried too much about myself, and I've worried too much about other people, and I'm not putting enough faith in the craft. My God is the paintbrush and the guitar, and through that, it's like I access reality, I guess, creativity, accessing reality. But there's other aspects of religion that I could work in. There might be a bit of stoicism and sort of limiting my negativity that I think could prove to be useful for me in the future. Because, what's the first commandment? Don't put any other God before me. I just did, right? So, but that's kind of how much I identify as being Christian. It's just and my fear is that I will just be I'll just be humbled until I am sort of I'll have to accept God in order to move forward. You know, eventually it's like the guitar isn't gonna cut it. My wit isn't gonna cut it. I'm gonna have to lean on something outside of myself. And that's a scary thing to do. When you are an artist, when you're someone who essentially applies form to formlessness, it's scary to feel like you are, like, that is out of your control, you know. But there's so many examples of it happening, you know. So like, and it's always something you don't expect, right? You know, like what happens when you get the debilitating illness, when it's like just out of your control, you know. So yeah, gonna keep working this week, gonna try and not focus too much on what I want to happen outside of myself, let it come to me, and I hope you're able to do the same and that this was informative. Thanks.